Good afternoon and welcome to yet another edition of Yes 101's Visual Radio. I'm Theruni Karunaratna for the Newsfirst team. Let's first start off with the headlines for this afternoon.
Newsfirst headline.
Making headlines in local news, Cyclone Fengal moves away from Sri Lanka. Landslide warnings and flood risks remain. Air quality deteriorates in several areas due to Cyclone Fengal. Risk of uptick of infectious diseases, including dengue. In news overseas, school shut as heavy storm approaches India's coast. And in sports, it's Formula 1. Hamilton says he is definitely not fast anymore. On to those stories in detail now. The Met Department says cyclonic storm Fengal is likely to move northwestwards and cross North Tamil Nadu Puducherry coasts in the afternoon. Influence of this system on the island's weather is gradually reducing. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters are likely at some places in the northern province of Sri Lanka. Naval and fishing communities are warned not to venture into the deep and shallow sea areas of the coast extending from Trincomalee to Puttalam via Kankasanture until further notice. The death toll from disasters caused by adverse weather has risen to 15, with 20 people injured and 1 person reported missing. The Disaster Management Centre reports that 475,000 individuals have been impacted across 232 divisional secretariat divisions in 24 districts of the country. The Disaster Management Centre advises the general public to avoid visiting flooded areas. The risk of flooding in most rivers has subsided by now. However, the Mahavali River remains at a risk level from Peradeniya. Meanwhile, the National Building Research Organisation has issued landslide warnings for Badulla, Kandy, Kegol, Mathale and Nuwara Eliya, which will remain in effect until this evening. Residents in these areas are urged to exercise caution in this regard. Meanwhile, the National Building Research Organisation also reports a decline in air quality across several parts of Sri Lanka, attributed to wind currents from the Indian peninsula caused due to Cyclone Fengal. Director of NBRO, Sarath Premasiri, stated that the air quality index or AQI values, which should ideally be below 50, have exceeded 100 in many areas. Colombo recorded AQI values ranging from 108 to 116, while Jaffna reported values between 112 and 120. This situation is expected to normalize within 2 days. Residents in affected areas are advised to wear masks to mitigate the health risks that may arise due to this decline in air quality. Health authorities warn of an increased risk of infectious diseases, including viral fever, due to prevalent heavy showers in the island. Deputy Director General of Health Services Dr. G. Vijay Surya advises the general public to follow safety guidelines when purchasing and consuming food and drinks. A special dengue control program is underway in flood-affected areas in the northeastern province as well. Community consultant of the National Dengue Control Unit, Dr. Lahiru Kodituaku, urges residents to eliminate mosquito breeding grounds to curb the spread of the disease. Sri Lanka has reported 45,448 dengue cases so far this year, with 19,000 from the western province alone. 22 dengue-related deaths have also been recorded. Let's now move on to international news.
International news.
Schools in India's south were shut and hundreds of people moved inland to storm shelters ahead of a powerful cyclone storm set to hit the region. Cyclonic storm Fengal is forecast to make landfall in Tamil Nadu state with sustained winds of 70 to 80 kilometers per hour in the afternoon. The forecast urged fishing crews to stay off the water and predicted surging waves of 1 meter that posed a flood risk to low-lying coastal areas in the region. Schools and colleges in numerous districts across Tamil Nadu were also shut, and at least 471 people have been moved to relief camps. Up next is your sports news.
Sports news.
Lewis Hamilton has said he is definitely not fast anymore after another disappointing qualifying performance in his final season at Mercedes. Hamilton's comments came after he qualified 7th for the sprint race at the Qatar Grand Prix. The 7-time champion, who is joining Ferrari next season, was 0.399 seconds slower than teammate George Russell, who will start the sprint race second behind McLaren's Lando Norris. And that's a wrap of this edition of Yes 101's Visual Radio. Do stay tuned with News First for more of the very latest.